Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to execute this in case you're having issues. Now, I'm executing it straight from the download. So it would be the same if you downloaded and ran it without any changes yet. So when I look at this in NetBeans, I brought up both files. Now you have to run the server before you run the client. The server has to be up so the client can connect to it. The minute you get both of them up, the client, you need to input the data you want encrypted. Should put a prompt there, I guess, but this, as long as you know it, this works. Programming 1 stuff. Okay, so I'm going to the server, run the file. It should eventually, it takes a while for these to execute, but it comes up and here's my run. Now that's the server, and you can see it has the run there. Once you get that, go to the client and run it. So I'll have both of them up and going, and notice that the number 2 is my client and it has run. So I've got to go down here and say this is my text. That's all I'm going to put in. When I hit enter, it'll go through and say, and it'll do what it's supposed to do. I can get it back up here. And it has from the server and the client, it has both executing, and it has the data that you typed in. Now it's not doing any of the encryption because I haven't put it in there, but it's just showing to you that from the client, this is the data that I sent, exactly what you typed in, and then when you go over to the server, it'll have that it was successful, but it's still giving you the same data because you haven't filled it in yet. So it'll say yes, it was received, and it'll send it. So that's how you get this to run when you're looking at it. And I can go in and I can bring back up my output window, and it's going to show it right here. So yep, from the client, I typed it in. In the time it took, it went to the server and bounced back to me. On the server side, it'll just say it was received. So hopefully this helps you execute it. If you there's a lot of editors that won't let you run 2 files at the same time, but NetBeans Eclipse will. Otherwise you would have to run it from the command line prompt, which brings its own issues in. Remember, you don't necessarily have to know what all of this data means, or all this, code means, like the datagram packet and the server socket, all that. It's just what you're doing as far as where I have the comments and told you here's where you get the transmitted data, and however you encrypted it on one side is how you go through the same thing here. And really the big purpose of working with something as simple as this type of connection, it's not that part I want you to know about. It's the fact of when you transmit data, you have to be concerned with what happens if someone grabs the packets in between or tries to do anything to your data in transition. We have to be able to verify that once we send it from the client, that the server has the exact same information. And there's certain things we do to it, like we do here with like a checksum. And that, of course, when it comes from the server back to the client, that you are getting the correct data back and forth. It's all about packets and transmission. This is a little bit longer, and I went into a little bit more detail than I intended, but that will get you started if you're having problems trying to figure out which one to run first and what it's actually doing. Well, I'm going to exit this, and hopefully that helps you out, and we will also, I'll be in collaboration tomorrow if you decide to do the applied.